Yo, today I wanted to talk about Surf Tormentor, which I released a bit ago. Like what I wanted to do with the map, what my intentions were, my inspirations and my issues while making and releasing the map. So I guess I can start with the inspirations maybe. And I think on YouTube, on YouTube I came across this map called KZ Letter Horror, yeah. And there was this specific video, this one, called All Ladder Surfs on the Tier 7 KZ map, blah blah. And this guy just, I don't know what he does, but like, I watched this video, right, and I was kinda impressed by how the surf looked. And just watch it a bit for like a few seconds. Like for some reason he's surfing sideways, I don't know why. Let's pause it right here. So I guess you can see kind of the inspiration of Surf Tormentor from all of this. I'm using this texture, I'm using this texture. I'm not using the REM texture, and this one also I don't use, but yeah, that was kind of the inspiration. I wanted this kind of low unit surf where you could just suffer through, I guess. The tier was tier 6 from the beginning. I didn't upgrade it during the process, so yeah, my intentions were clear before. And let's just go to stage 1 if I can find it. Okay, yeah, stage 1. So I just started making this map, and stage 1 I busted out in like 30 minutes with enclosing and everything. So I had this intention in mind where I just wanted this kind of low unit surf, like just like here kinda, where you have to strafe a lot and board ramps kind of perfectly, and then scale this gap to here maybe. And then I guess let's just go through the next few stages. And stage 2 I also had a pretty decent idea what I wanted to do. It's like low unit again, and then REM strafes I wanted to incorporate into my map. Thought it would be cool to do these kind of tiny REM strafes, I guess. Which, I mean, it's pretty cancerous, and yeah, you go from here to here and then to there, it's pretty difficult. So I think with this stage you can see the inspirations more clearly. Like you start here where you have to do a 180 turn and then kind of go into this area where there's like these walls you have to scale over, and you have to avoid while boarding the ramp, so the ramps are kind of inset into the walls a bit, but you have to like strafe a lot and then use the entirety of the ramp to beat this stage. For some reason this stage is the easiest one in the entire map, which is strange. Okay, stage 4. Honestly, I had no clue about stage 4. I think I remade it once or twice. I can't remember. Where is it now? Oh, here. Yeah, so this beginning part was always there, then this one. But before, I think, you can see that in one of my videos, old and unfinished surf maps, before you went through this hole and then you turned and practically had to go down. But I changed this to this. And then I did these really cancerous parallel boards, I guess, where you have to flick up and board this kind of perfectly. And then go down here to this angled ramp and flick to the end. This is also pretty hard, this end, but I think I kind of like it now, because like when you can farm units here, it's not that difficult. And I guess when you take this ramp kind of perfectly, you can just about make it, I guess, if you're as shit as me. Okay, now let's move on to stage 5, which is the hub as well. Yeah, this stage, let's just start here. this stage went through 4 or 5 iterations. I can't remember correctly. Maybe I can show you some of the iterations. Before, yeah, I remember before, this map was called surf_calendar. Let's see if I can still load this, okay. So you can see, oh yeah, this stage is pretty rough. Stage 3. And then this is stage 1, just without detailing, pretty much. This entire thing I made in 30 minutes, yeah. What I just told you. Then this is stage 2, without any detailing so far. And yeah, this is stage 3, but you can see that, stage 4 I mean, you can see like the beginning is the same. But then you go down. And let's move on to stage 5. Yeah, this is stage 5. My old stage. Which was also kind of bad in terms of surf. So, I just made this to be as strafe heavy as possible. Where you had to go over here, then board this correctly, and then the reason why I scrapped this is this entire part here. This looked kinda like old school and shit. Like something you would see in, for example, the New York maps or whatever, NY Advance, I don't know, something like that. Pretty difficult. I also incorporated the skip, so you can go over this railing to here. And then you had to go around and board this again, which has a leading detailing here. And then the end is like this really long ramp strafe section, and then these angled ramps where you have to flick over here and land onto here. Pretty bad. This stage was kind of a nightmare to play. It was way harder than the stage I have now, I think, to properly do, because like this ramp strafe thing, the ramp strafes are not very angled, so it's kind of easy to get stuck. And yeah, I remade this a lot of times, and I think this is just a KZA bonus, no? Yeah, it is. Just detailed this. Do I have anything else to show here? No. I have no idea where the other stages, like the other iterations of the stage are, but what I did afterwards was scrap this entire section here, like this, and you just had to go here, then go, I think I shifted this ramp to here, and then you had to go like along these flower pots or whatever they are, to somewhere here. I don't know, maybe I can find it. Okay, I found the current stage 5. Pretty undetailed, and oh my god, okay, you just had these angled ramps there as well, which played terribly. Yeah, I think I found it. So you can see the similarities, right? But the thing is, you had to go in here and then do a really shit board onto these ramps, cross here, go up these ramp strafes and into here, then up to here, board this, and then you had to like ramp strafe back and went to the end. And this one was also really difficult and very cancerous. So this was the, I think, 3rd or 4th iteration before we arrived at the one we have now. Okay, I can just do it like this, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, the stage 5 I like a lot more, because it's not as like cancerous with the ramp strafes, and the reason because I scrapped the thing I showed you before was that it felt so disconnected from the entirety of the map. Like the first 4 stages were pretty low unit, and I wanted this to be kind of low unit as well, so that's what I did. I think you never exceed like 900 units on this map, on the stage, or maybe here. Maybe here you, yeah, I think you hit like 1200 here somewhere. And then I had the glorious idea to connect the stage to the main hub, which I did. And I guess I said before that the map was called Calendar, so it's just a map word I made up in my mind. And if I Google this, this is like a fucking is it I don't know if it's German or something. Yeah, I think it's German, but it's like a cleaning product thing. So that's what I why I scrapped it, I guess. So I renamed it to Tormentor. The reason for that is because I had this guy in my map all the time, this big monster, and that guy is actually called the Tormentor from Dead Space 2. So I think someone in my stream chat was like, why don't you rename the map to Tormentor? And that's what I did, I guess. So if you don't know, that model, the Tormentor model, oh, I had it here. It's like this guy. So in that space, like, you get ambushed and then you get sucked into space, or you're about to be sucked into space, and through sheer willpower, I guess, you can you went down this shaft. And then this big guy shows up. Okay, and then, yeah, there he is. He screams at you a bit, and then you have to do some quick events and run away from him, I guess. And afterwards you kill him. But this guy is very impressive, and I kind of wanted him in my map, so I found an SFM model of him and ported it to Counter-Strike Source. And now I have him in my map. Also, this map name kind of fits because, yeah, this map kind of torments you a bit, no? For being, like, so low unit and pretty aids to play, I would say, to be honest. Am I recording? Yeah. One thing I found very challenging with the map was the brush side limit, and if you don't know, brushes are these. You can see they are the geometry you work with in the hammer editor. I was about to call it hammer engine, which is not true. And brush side limits get created by the compiler compiling the geometry of this brush. And the more complicated these brushes are, the more brush sides get created. So a brush like this, geometry like this, is very complicated and it needs a lot of brush sides. And you can hit a limit pretty quickly, and I think with Tormentor right now, I think I am at exactly 99% brush side. So I was kind of lucky that I managed to do it this well, but I had to turn a lot of geometry into models. Like, this entire thing here is a model, and if you don't know what a model is basically an entity you can place into your map to detail it. Like, normally I can just show you what a model is. Like, I can, it's called differently here, but I usually do prop dynamic. And then I click on world model and, okay. I guess it's something like this, no? It's like a big dinosaur or something you can put in your map, which with normal brush side would take a lot of brushes. This is made in a modeling program anyway. But yeah, they're more detailing props to put in your map apart from normal geometry. And Hammer++ has this option here where you can do proper ++ and turn a bit of geometry. Like, I don't know, let's just take an example. Probably this. You can turn that into a model, and then it won't exceed brush side limits because it's a model and not a brush. And thus the compiler treats it as a model, and I think models are ignored by the compiler anyway when creating the basic like walking space or whatever. It's called visleaves, very complicated. But yeah, that's what I had to do. And one thing I encountered with the models was that lighting on models is fucking garbage. And you can see that in the map, I guess. I can just load it up quickly. Oh, I haven't even started Steam, lol. Let me open my energy drink for a bit. Yeah, you can see I drink a lot of energy drinks. Geil, Alter. Okay, let's look at this. So this, I think this walking thing here, this ground you walk on, is not a model, but here this is a model, and this might look like a different texture, but it's actually model lighting being shit. This is the exact same texture between both of these, and this entire part here is a model. This is not. And the way it looks here is because model lighting is bad in Source. And the same you can see here. You can see the lighting here on the wall is pretty even. There's some red lighting here, but for some reason this is entirely blue lit up. And it's very contrasting to this wall. It has totally different lighting. And normally people that don't know, they will probably assume like, ooh, that's just a different texture, no? But it isn't. This is all model lighting, and it's very bad. The way model lighting works is you have to put an entity to sample light from a certain space, and I think I placed that entity somewhere here. Oh no, wait. The model is here, and the entity is somewhere here, so it samples light from exactly this position. And it shines on the model there. And if you put it next to like a light source like this, it ends up looking very unrealistic. So I just took light from here where it's like a bit blue, I guess, and put it there. And there are some other models in this map as well, where thankfully the lighting didn't look as bad. I think this is a model, and these and this might be a model as well. I actually forgot. But the thing is, because so many models in this map looked bad with lighting, is I demodeled a bunch of stuff, and I just saw that the texture alignment here is garbage. Same here, but it doesn't really matter. I think these were models once, and the light didn't shine through. Like the light was only visible in there and not here, which is very unrealistic. This was a model and it didn't let any light through, so I just turned them back into brushes again. These are models. You can see here that this lamp is only shining inside and there's no light on the outside. There's only a bit of lighting down here. And this is because I think light cannot propagate through models, if I'm not mistaken. Someone like correct me on that if that's wrong. But yeah, I think the map turned out looking pretty fine. I don't think there's any like big glitches or anything I forgot. And honestly, the detailing on this one is on this stage is so good, man. I cooked with this detailing, I'm not gonna lie. You can see a bit of like there's a bit of glitchy here, but you don't look there anyways. But yeah, this stage looks fantastic. And I think I demodeled all of this before as well, because the entire geometry here was way too dark. So that was kind of the problem I had before releasing the map, and then when I released the map on KSF, which I'm gonna show you now, is where the real problem started with the map. Okay, I have to start Discord, man. I just got onto my PC because I'm very busy. Okay, let's see QA testing. So this is the QA testing chat, where people submit their maps and then they get tested if they run correctly. And here's the thread for Tormentor, and as you can see, there's 765 chat messages, as opposed to this only like, I mean, this map got declined anyway. This map got accepted 250, this map got accepted 220 something, autosave got accepted 121. And yeah, this part, if I just scroll up to the top. So, okay, this is where I submitted the map, and what happens when the map is not up to standards is someone like Spy Complex, as you can see, is a QA tester, he puts fail and then the map fails, and then you can submit the map again after you've done fixes. And the first fail was because I suggested a fail. Yeah, here, fail epic, Pieto failed it here. And I asked because I compiled without the triggers. So you couldn't be reset if you failed, which was my my fault. That was very stupid of me. Okay, yeah, I found the next thing already, which is on MRT's bonus, which is bonus 7, I think. this error spammed the console. Let's just go to MRT's bonus in the mapping program. I think it's this. Yeah, so MRT's bonus, it's his first bonus, so he is forgiven, I think, for not knowing stuff you should know after a bit. But what I did on this bonus, this was all brushwork before, so I had to model all of it. Thankfully the model lighting was good. Oh, this is not brushwork, but this is, I think. Oh, it's not, okay, interesting. But yeah, for example, stuff like this. This took up so many brush sites, because all of these are little brushes that need to be compiled by the compiler and turned into this leaves, I guess. That's probably wrong, but yeah, who cares. I had to model a bunch of stuff, that's the gist of it, and what MRT did was, for the lights here, he used a certain texture, which is called a sprite texture. Sprite. Let me find the correct one. I think he used... What did he use? I think he used something like... I think he used this. If I apply it, it looks pretty good as a light, no? But that's a sprite. And a sprite texture, unbeknownst to me and him, causes problems when it's turned into a model. And because the sprite texture was in the model, as you can see, this is a model MRT made, the brush work gets converted into a model and the textures are also converted, but the sprites for some reason don't work on the model. So this spammed the console with errors, and I fixed that by I fixed that by demodeling, for example this, removing the sprite texture and then modeling it again. Very annoying process, but SpyConvex found this. And then he also found that my ramps weren't angle fixed, which is a term you have to do when the ramp is rotated in the top view. Let me just find a ramp. Not here, not here. Okay, also not here. I don't think you have to angle fix anything here. Let's see. Yeah, I think there is one on this bonus. This. As you can see, when you click this and look onto it in top view, the ramp you surf along is rotated like this. And if that happens in the top view, you have to angle fix. Otherwise it might lead to collision issues. And that's what I didn't do on my map for some reason. And this wasn't even my fault, because the angle fixing tool I use is broken with Hammer++. And then other thing I did was that I didn't make the trigger snipeable, which basically means like when you want to fly or like flick over a trigger when you're surfing and cut it really close if you're going for WR, they have to be inset a bit so you don't hit them and instead hit the edge or something. And yeah, I did all of that, did proper angle fix, adjusted triggers, swapped a bunch of textures, blah blah, unmodeled a bunch of stuff because it looked shit, fixed the console spam and MRT bonus, and I added an Easter egg as well, who cares. And then yeah, it passed. Then I had some issues with the zones, I guess, with the triggers, which didn't have clients checked, so like if you hit them it wouldn't get set. And then the tone map controller, which also wasn't my fault because Lodi added it in his bonus, I guess. And I just I guess it was my fault because like I just took these entities, the logic auto with the tone map controlling, and put it into my map cluelessly because I have no idea about any of this. I fixed this. Max and min should average to 1. That's what Pietro said. I did that. I was a bit mad here. Hire me QA testers, okay. Okay, then Lodi checked for like anything involving the teleporters, and I had 64 spawns as well, which is a requirement. And I have no idea what this is. I think this was on the Vey bonus, who cares? Oh no, wait, this was on Cabo bonus, which was his fault. Oh yeah, I think it failed again because of these no-jump zones, because they were fucky. This is not good. When the no-jump / auto-behop zones touch each other or are too close, it easily causes timing errors not to function properly. Okay, yeah, I added some lights here because this was a bit dark. And then Sam got mad at me because, like, QA testers, blah blah. Fail, we got this. Oh yeah, I think Nikki, yeah, she noticed that at the end of the stage 5, which is the hub, I guess, you could walk out of the space you were in, like you could go onto here and then fall behind here. And so I just added a clip brush to this, a player clip, where you can't pass through. So that was one minor issue. And then it passed QA testing, which means like the map is in queue and can be added soon. And yeah, then I contacted Mr. Disres for the showcase, for making a showcase. And I apparently missed to set this trigger to be a trigger actually, so this is just a normal texture now. And I think, yeah, this is when the big issue started, which was HDR settings on the models, which was very weird. Giga weird specular. I don't know what caused this again, but you had to fuck around with specular settings in CSS, which is bad. And then they started to talk about failing a past map already. Then Sony just said, this map should be sent to the Shadow Realm, okay. This is what happened on MRT bonus when I compiled with HDR, very bad. Oh, yeah, okay, I think it was because I had some cube maps in the map, which didn't really work. And then I set some RAM to be funk illusionary. And you couldn't collide with them anymore, very bad. My gun looks normal now, which is an indicator for good specular. And then the things were fucked again on MRT bonus. This still happened, very weird, yeah, I think we found it out that there was some cube map issue, yeah. Env cube map used a word geometry without rebuilding map, ignoring this. I removed the cube maps of the map, and cube maps are basically an entity that reflects surrounding areas, or gives reflection to surrounding areas. And the way I fix this is by doing this with the compiler. So I had to compile like this, which probably isn't like meaning a lot to any of you, but I have to compile like this, and then build the cube maps myself in game, and then just put repack again, and then it worked. And if I wanted to compile the map today, I would have still have to do it like that. And then this happened, I think I fucked something up, and yeah, then it passed again. And then this just says we might not be done after all. Oh yeah, it turns out like B4 was humanly impossible on 66 tick settings, and I had to nerf it considerably. And this was the second time a past map was actually failed. Nerfed Royce bonus considerably, added new testers texture to credit William and Liquidator for helping me. And then it was finally passed, man. That was so, like, it got up to version 9. And honestly, there's even more issues with the map right now, because it turns out when people surf the map, it turned out you can surf this one and just go from this ramp to this and then go to the end quite easily. And yeah, we had to fix this then and add a trigger here so you would fail. I think this is on KSF right now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that happened, and then of course another issue arose with where is it? Yeah, it's here, with this bonus. And it turned out on 100 tick you can go from this spawn straight to the end for some reason. There's some weird, like very weird glitch where you go into a trigger and then get spawned right at the end, which is very weird. And that's the current issue. I don't know if it's fixable or not, but like, yeah. So yeah, this map was like 8 months of pain, to be honest, where I was also pretty lazy about it. and I'm not sure if I like the map, to be honest. My take on it is that it looks pretty nice, and I kind of succeeded in what I wanted to do, but I went a bit overboard on the detailing. I didn't have to do as much detailing because KZ Leather Horror is not that detailed as well, and originally I wanted to look at like this, these dark concrete textures, and then some ramps, boxy layout where you had to like strafe a lot and snapboard a lot, and then put some mining lights there and then call it a day. But sadly I detailed way too much, like I always do, and multiple issues arose from that, as I explained with the max map brush size, where the map got way too big for its own good, and then of course the entire QA debacle happened, because I am a donkey and I don't test my maps. So I don't think I'm gonna cut this up too much. It's 40 minutes of recording, dude. Am I retarded? Thanks for watching if you did until here, and I'm already working on the next map, I guess. You can also like check out my stream if you want. I sometimes do some mapping there. Like look, I did this. I'm working on Surf Humility right now, and it looks pretty nice. Yeah, Dirtman stage, yoo-hoo! But yeah, this stage is pretty much done. The next stage is also pretty much done. Looks pretty good. Yeah, sometimes do mapping on my Twitch, and I also do some surfing there. So if you want to check that out, please do. And yeah, if you want to play Surf Tormentor, it's on KSF. You can play it if you want. And I guess that's pretty much it.